Okie dokie, everyone. Steve Politi here at SHI Stadium. I am sort of at a loss for words, as I've done this a very long time. As you know, I have never seen a loss quite like that one. 38, I think it turned out to be 31 loss to Illinois. I mean, fellas, I don't want to tell you what I did. You were there the entire second quarter talking to the Citrus Bowl scout. We're getting ready. We're going to Florida. Looks like they want Rutgers in the bowl. It's kind of an exciting moment. Rutgers has the ball. It has a chance to, goes up, has a chance to end the game with a missed field goal, 58-yarder into the wind. The freaking flags are still blowing in that direction. Greg Shannon calls a timeout to ice the kicker. I don't have a question.
Okay, all right. I will talk about the icing, I guess. Right, like that's what people are going to remember from this game: the moment and the decision to ice the kicker on a 58-yard attempt. That'll be the final moment. But you didn't even bring up what happened after it. They took the kicker off the field after they tried to ice him. Put the offense back on the field. Pat Bryant catches the ball in the middle of the zone, weaves through the Rutgers defense, and it's just like only Rutgers could lose a game that way.
That's the best, absolutely. And that's the thing. It's funny. And you went in to listen to Brett Bielema after this game, and he said, that's exactly, I don't know if it's true, but he says that's what he planned for. He was going to see how the kick went. He knew Greg Shannon was going to ice him, and the moment that field goal fell short, to the point, though, we were in the press box. None of us, there's no one in the world who thought he was going to hit that field goal. None.
Right, but I still think icing the kicker is a standard operating procedure for coaches in most of these situations. I can understand the thought process. I think Greg is absolutely right that if he had to change one thing about that, it would be before. Don't let him kick the field goal, because Brett Bielema said that they were expecting him to ice the kicker, because, again, that's the expected decision for most coaches. And when they saw the kick was 30 feet short of the pipes, he decided, maybe we should try going for it on 4th and 13. And I think that, to me, is the bigger issue, is that, fine, you could say he iced the kicker, shouldn't have iced it, they won the game, whatever. But you got to get a stop on 4th and 13. 4th and 13, you got to get a stop. The defense was getting ripped apart the entire second half. They gave up a touchdown, 4 straight drives to end the game. You got to get a stop. That, to me, is going to be the lasting image, just not getting off the field.
Yeah, and blitzed.
Yes.
On 4th and 13.
Yes.
Which, if you're going to look at the bird, I get it. Greg Shannon thought, we'll get him down. Didn't get there. And the secondary looked just completely discombobulated.
Well, prevent defense prevents you from winning games. And I think that's the old adage that people are going to say, right? Rutgers wanted to take the chance, not sit back. And even if it was a first down, right? The clock stops. They have a shot to spike it and then kick the field goal, a closer field goal. So we can just what if this game over and over again. But at the end of the day, there's just no more devastating feeling than those guys coming out of the locker room, Kyle Monungai, Tyrone Powell, guys that we talked about in the week leading up to this game that signed on to Rutgers when it was the worst team in the country, took that leap of faith to buy into this vision. And instead of a senior send-off for the ages, winning a game that was right there within grasp, they have to somehow figure out a way to rally for next week and then a bowl game.
Look, I think there's a couple of things here that we can get to ask Greg about this, but the Ethan Kaliakmanis fumble, it looked like on replay, and a lot of people talked to us on Twitter, that he might have recovered it and had it, and then Illinois ends up recovering the ball. That's obviously a game-changing play, because on that very drive, Illinois scores a touchdown, and that starts their march back into this game. And I think the loss takes away from an awesome game-winning drive, would-be game-winning drive that Rutgers had. They get the ball back with 3 minutes left. Ethan Kaliakmanis barely escapes throwing an interception that would have ended the game, converts a 4th and 10 with his feet, finds Kyle Monungai in the corner of the end zone for a touchdown. The place is going nuts, or however many people were still in the building. It's a goddamn one-score game, and everyone's leaving the stadium. Anyway, the people that were still in the building were going crazy, and all for naught.
All for naught. I go back to this, and I understand what you're saying about ice the kicker. My problem is that this is the broader picture. I understand what you're saying about icing the kicker. But look, I've seen Greg Shannon coach games. This is his 100th loss at Rutgers. It just feels like this is a situational thing. Like his instincts for situations like this is so often wrong. I just come back to that. It's not the decision itself. Okay, sometimes you call it, sometimes you don't. No, you don't call it there. You don't call it there. That's all I'm saying. It's a 58-yard field goal into the wind, running onto the field. I don't know. Like, I get it. It's a situational thing. It happens all the time. Sometimes you do it, sometimes you don't. No. You make $6 million to make that decision, to make the right call there. You don't do it there. I'm sorry.
Listen, that's why you're the columnist. Send us home, man.
No, before we send us home, here's the thing. Rutgers was one play away from ending a 15-year, 40-game losing streak against the ranked opponents. That leads all Power 5 teams. That is an enormous monkey on their back, an embarrassing streak that was one play away. They were one play away from winning 4 Big Ten games in a season for the first time since joining the league. They were one play away from winning 3 straight Big Ten games for the first time ever. They were one play away from being one game away.
The Citrus Bowl.
One game away from the Citrus Bowl. They were one game away. They were one play away from being one game away of turning the season from a 4-win to a 4-loss to a 4-win. One play away, and one play makes a huge difference to how we're going to remember this season, honestly. And unless you guys have anything else to say,
no.
Next week is Thanksgiving, and sincerely, I want to say thank you to all of you for watching these videos, for commenting on these videos, even that one jerk who comments every video about us having 2 mics. All that matters is the mics work. Get off our backs. But anyway, we appreciate you watching the videos, and I appreciate you guys following us all season. We're not going to have a video in Michigan State because Lydia and I are going to be hitting the blackjack tables in Vegas, while Lanny's going to be doing the hard work and covering that game. But we appreciate it, and hopefully you still watch this video despite the game not going your way.